The emergency call came in a voice trembling with urgency, requesting police intervention. The caller reported a break in her home invaded by an unexpected presence. Upon returning, she discovered a woman inside her house, a shocking intrusion. She had drawn her firearm, yet the woman remained motionless. When asked the woman's age, she admitted she had no idea. This stranger lay in her hallway, a silent figure she did not recognize. The woman was found lying on her stomach, not her back. Though tempted to move her, she hesitated. Her husband had warned her against touching the woman. Overwhelmed, she whispered prayers, questioning what she had done. On the early morning of July 18, 2023, a married woman stumbled upon 25-year-old Tyra Chanel Crosby in the bed of her 50-year-old husband. The scene was one the wife never imagined she would witness within her own home. She did not arrive unannounced. She was an invited guest, yet the wife's fury ignored this fact, and what she did to Tyra that day altered the course of her life forever. This is the harrowing story of Tyra Chanel Crosby. To grasp the depths of this tragedy, we must first understand the lives that collided on that fateful day. Tyra Chanel Crosby was born on August 28, 1997, making her 25 years old when the shocking events unfolded. She lived in Northwest Charlotte, North Carolina, alongside her mother, Tanya Hoskins. Known for her vibrant spirit, Tyra carried a heart brimming with dreams and hope. Those close to her recalled a young woman full of life, outgoing and warm. Yet this same vivacity would lead her into the arms of a married man, and ultimately to a fatal encounter. Despite her kindness and ambitions, Tyra bore a troubled past marked by brushes with the law. Her legal struggles began in 2018, involving charges of simple battery and assault. By 2021, more grave accusations emerged: assault with a deadly weapon and discharging a firearm into occupied property. Further incidents in 2022 and early 2023 included simple assault and threatening communications. Still, those who knew her insisted Tyra was striving to change her life's trajectory. Family and friends remembered how she clung to her compassion and infectious personality despite the turmoil, continually reaching out to help others. Like many young women, Tyra sought a stable relationship, but her past hindered her chances of acceptance. Though she mingled with diverse circles, her life remained solitary, and some choices led her down precarious roads. Yet her resilience would not falter. Tyra found a man who seemed to offer hope and change, though he would not be the one to save her on that tragic day. This young man embodied everything she sought, and together they shared a joyful, lasting bond. She often immortalized these moments on social media, revealing glimpses of their happiness. Questions about their lives were posed playfully. Who was the better cook between them? Who first uttered the words, "I love you"? Who took longer to get ready in the morning? Who was grumpier at dawn? Who was the bigger baby when ill? Who was the social butterfly? Who left the messes behind? Who exercised more? Who demanded more attention? All seemed well with this relationship until a new man entered Tyra's life. Their connection was swift, yet Tyra was blind to the truth about this man, Albert Alexander, aged 50. Albert was married to Stephanie Alexander, 51, and they had shared a home in Charlotte for years. Stephanie was no stranger to family. She brought 5 children from a previous relationship into the marriage. Albert had embraced this role, acting as a devoted stepfather. But behind this facade of loyalty, a darker reality prevailed. On the night of July 17, 2023, Tyra, an outdoor enthusiast seeking relaxation, visited a local club alone. She enjoyed a few drinks, immersing herself in the music and atmosphere. Little did she know she was about to encounter a man who would either brighten her night or seal her fate. That man was Albert Alexander, also alone in the club, who quickly found a connection with Tyra. They shared drinks, danced, and engaged in deep conversation. Stephanie Alexander, mother of 5 and hardworking, kept varied shifts to support her family. Albert was well aware of her schedule. He knew exactly when she left for work and when she would return. Midnight at the club. Albert extended an invitation to Tyra to visit his home. Unaware of his marriage, Tyra accepted, stepping unknowingly into a dangerous situation. Whether swayed by alcohol or the allure of conversation remains uncertain. Tyra walked into the Alexander residence, continuing where the night had left off. An innocent decision which would soon spiral into a tragic nightmare. They retreated to the bedroom, unaware that fate was about to intervene. In a cruel twist, Stephanie returned home unexpectedly at 5:00 a.m. on July 18, 2023. Shattering the fragile calm. Stephanie Alexander burst through the door, confronted by the harrowing sight of Tyra Chanel Crosby lying in bed with her husband, Albert Alexander. Amid the brutal assault, Tyra desperately tried to call her mother, Tanya Hoskins, pleading for help. But fate dealt a cruel hand. The call went unanswered and was diverted to voicemail, capturing the chilling sounds of her final moments. That voicemail preserved the harrowing evidence of Tyra's prolonged torture, culminating in the fatal gunshot that ended her life. Investigators later recovered this voicemail, though its contents were never released to the public. It painted a grim picture of a victim enduring unimaginable pain before being mercilessly executed at precisely 5:00 a.m. Stephanie Alexander contacted 911, confessing to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department that she had shot a woman inside her home. Upon arrival, officers were guided by Stephanie to the grim scene where Tyra's lifeless body lay. Stephanie was promptly taken into custody for interrogation as the prime suspect in this horrific crime. Meanwhile, her husband, Albert Alexander, was also questioned to provide his version of the events. On the morning of Tuesday, July 18th, around 6:00 a.m., Stephanie was processed at Mecklenburg County Jail. Despite the gravity of the charges, she was released the same day after posting a $250,000 bond. In a twist that sparked controversy, Albert Alexander faced no charges, though many saw his actions as the tragic catalyst. Tyra's family, particularly her mother, Tanya Hoskins, was engulfed in fury over the baffling circumstances surrounding her daughter's death. Tanya took the haunting voicemail to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, demanding a thorough review. The police are now urging prosecutors to consider elevating the charges against Stephanie Alexander. At present, Stephanie faces the lowest level of murder charges. Tanya Hoskins insists these charges must be raised to first-degree murder. She firmly believes her daughter's death was deliberate, a calculated act demanding the highest level of justice. Tanya stressed that Tyra was no intruder in the Alexander home. Tyra had been invited inside by Albert Alexander himself. She did not just show up unannounced. This fact, Tanya argued, negated any claims of self-defense. In her eyes, this was a premeditated murder. Tanya vowed to pursue justice relentlessly. She revealed to investigators that on that tragic morning of July 18th, Tyra had reached out to her for help during the assault, alleging the entire incident was a cruel setup. According to Tanya, Stephanie Alexander orchestrated the scene, luring Tyra into the home with the deadly intent to kill. Initial speculation suggested Tyra had broken into the house due to past legal troubles, but evidence eventually disproved this theory. On August 3, 2023, after reviewing the damning voicemail, the Mecklenburg County Grand Jury indicted Stephanie Alexander on second-degree murder charges. Yet lingering questions remain about the nature of Tyra's relationship with Albert Alexander. How long had they known each other? Was Tyra aware he was married? Had she visited the Alexander home prior to that fateful night? In Tyra's memory, a vigil was held on Sunday, July 23, 2023, at a local park in Charlotte, North Carolina. Friends, family, and community members gathered beneath flickering candlelight to honor a life cruelly cut short. Those in attendance shared stories of Tyra's infectious laughter, her kindness, and steadfast loyalty. They remembered her beauty both inside and out. She became their angel, watching silently from above. Deeply shaken by the violent loss, Tanya Hoskins addressed the crowd, her voice trembling with emotion. She vowed to fight tirelessly, ensuring her daughter's death would not be forgotten or go unpunished. Tanya spoke passionately about Tyra's dreams and the vibrant life stolen from her, conveying the profound grief her family now carries. The vigil attendees offered prayers and support, standing united behind Tanya's quest for truth and justice. Tyra Chanel Crosby, only 25 years old, was laid to rest on July 24th at Greater Temple Baptist Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. Stephanie Alexander now faces trial for second-degree murder, a charge far more severe than the original involuntary manslaughter. This indictment reflects the prosecution's belief that Stephanie's actions, though not premeditated, showed a depraved indifference to human life. In the aftermath, the unfaithful husband walks free while the devastating consequences fall upon others. All that remains is the hope that Tyra Crosby receives the justice she so desperately deserves. Now the question lingers: how much responsibility lies with Stephanie Alexander for her violent reaction? Was her act born of cold calculation or a moment of impulsive rage? And how significant was Albert Alexander's role in escalating the deadly encounter? We invite you to reflect and share your thoughts.